Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back, of course, to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good in your part of the world. Watch review of the CASIO A1100D-1EF, and it could quite possibly be the best all-steel digital watch from Casio in the last couple of years. Just before I get into the specs, big shout out to the good people at First Class Watches for the loan of this one. And if you're talking to them about any watches, please do mention the Time Bomb channel. Sort of makes a good link for them when they're lending out watches to reviewers like myself. And there is our watch for today. So, it's actually a stunning looking watch, and I really like it. And it seems that quite a few other people do, because it won a design award, and it was a design award called an IF in 2024. I couldn't really see much about the criteria that they used to pick the winners, so I'll leave that to your imaginations. And then it's also worth noting some of the other watches that won awards there this year. I suspect these awards are a little bit of a designer world love-in, but I do like that watches are still one of the key categories. Let's just zoom in a fraction. And as I was saying, I think Casio have really done themselves a fantastic bit of work with this one. I think, as I say, the visual aspect of it, the vintage vibes, and the fact that it is a true all-steel design as opposed to their usual use of tinfoil, I have to say that I think, visually it's done an awful lot of good. But there is a but, and it's one of those kind of Casio buts that you're probably expecting, and you probably already know what it's going to be. The first but is that these retail for £124.90. That's on the UK Casio website. Do shop around. Specifically, have a chat with the guys at First Class Watches. They will do their best to help you on price matching. So some key speccage then. These are pretty much about 35 mils across, north to south. Is a fraction over 40 mils, and then it's just a sliver of 9 mils deep, and those sitting then on 20 mil lugs, and that on my 7¼ inch wrist translates into something looking like this. So down the pipe shot there, as you can see, it lays very well on wrist. I don't have any issue at all with how it sits. And as I say, the general aspect of it, I think, is absolutely brilliant. They've absolutely nailed, I think, the vintage retro vibes on this one. Yes, it is petite, but as I say, I think that retro styling and the added to the bracelet links there, I think is, just looks absolutely excellent. These links are all flat, and as you can see, they articulate beautifully. And as I say, visually, I think they have done an absolutely outstanding job there. As I say, sort of mini flat links, if you want to call them that. Really nice. And as I say, the fact again that it's all steel and not tinfoil coated, is just a huge bonus for us Casio fans. But let's get on to that but. So the first but comes then when you turn over the bracelet, and you can start to see that it's all made with folded links. So you can say very quickly goodbye to all of your arm hairs. Not a great start. And it gets worse. So within those key speccage, as you can see at the top there, the top right hand side, it's water resistant only. So basically it's splash proof. So don't get it anywhere near the washing up, don't wear it outside when it's raining, and probably better, don't sweat in it either. I just can't believe for 125 quid they couldn't have made this 50 meters worth of watery goodness. I just don't know why they feel that that's acceptable. And again, I'm not really sure why it couldn't achieve more. I mean, the F91 is also water resistant, etc. But I mean, it's so cheap. I mean, that thing costs around £10. I'm wondering if it's got something to do with the fact that the buttons are up front, and maybe that has, something to do with it. But I really don't know the truth behind that lack of watery goodness. So again, if you guys have got any information on that, it would be great to hear your thoughts. Another thing that I like particularly about the bracelet is I like the way that they've kept that not the homage, the tribute to the older style model, where the bracelet joins at the top of the watch, not in the middle, etc. Again, because yeah, that is very much that old retro styling. So let me get rid of these things out of the background so that the camera can focus. It is, as you can see, unfortunately, a little bit of a fingerprint magnet as well. It's pretty cold here, so I'm not exactly perspiring a lot. But again, it is really attracting a lot of prints. The underside, I think the underside of the watch does stick out a fraction underneath there. But again, I don't really have too much of an issue with that, as I say, because on wrist, I think it works pretty good. The clasp is cheap. The clasp is cheap. I don't know what else you want me to say about it. I mean, it is cheap. That bit of metal there is probably going to bend as soon as you ding it, so be gentle with it. But the clasp itself, the closing function and those pushers, again, are quite nice and, easy to work with. For some reason, I'm getting very distinctive Star Wars vibes off of this one. And I think the other colorways that this comes in at the moment really contributing to that image and that concept. Of course, you then have the Darth and the 3PO there as well. So as I say, distinct vibes. Inside, as you can see from the function buttons, they've used a very simple module inside. I think it's the 52QS. And I sincerely think that they've picked the wrong one. I think they should have picked a better one with some useful functions. I mean, the first one up is that you can't adjust it to show it in 24 hours, which particularly I prefer. And with regards to modes, I mean, yeah, so you've got an alarm, nice little beep, stopwatch, and then that's it. So yeah, it's really, and then yeah, when you want to hold down that, you want to see the date, you just hold down your function button over here. Now, I think if you're trying to use, for example, the whole of your finger end to press these buttons, it isn't going to work. So yeah, simple note to self: utilize fingernail when pressing buttons. Nice little sound. Love the digital beeps off these things, and yeah, it's unmistakably digital. The backlight is fun, but again, I think this is another one of the problems with the modules. There's no way to extend the duration of the light. It comes on for about a second. It's a fun amber color, and I really like that. But by the time you've turned it on, it's gone off already. So. Blimey. I really do love the distinctive digital visuals of this watch. But I just think for £125, I think they've just cut themselves too many corners. They've excelled at certain aspects of it and then just gone very cheap on other aspects. It could be, for example, that many non-watch nerds will look at this and go, yeah, I can overlook all those issues. I just love the vibes of it. And they're happy with it, and potentially that's the target customer, not OCD idiots like myself who get upset when you can't put it in 24-hour time or something like that. But as I say, the visual aspect of it, combined with that bracelet, is fantastic. But then, as I say, make sure you shave your arms if you're going to keep it on this bracelet. You can, I think, swap it out quite easily. As you can see there, you've got good access to the lugs inside, so you could probably pop this on other straps. But as I say, that metal is just really so very attractive. Anyway, those are always just my thoughts. Really look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments down below as always. Massive thanks to the lovely people over at First Class Watches for the loan of this one, and thank you to you guys for your time and your view, and we'll catch you all in the next vid. Cheers, guys.